Good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to all the emerging leaders joining us today. We at ITC are extremely excited to launch the season 2 of Emerging Managers Awards, a pioneering initiative designed to recognize and nurture the next generation of managers. I, Ashish Singh, part of the HR team at the Trade Marketing and Distribution Division at ITC, will be your host for the day. It is ITC's endeavor to consistently work towards building business leaders, and the Emerging Managers Awards is a platform where the brightest young minds will get an opportunity to work on a key business problem, provide unique perspectives, and get a chance to grab pre placement offers for the summer internships 2026 with us. EMA has been live since 6th of August, and through today's event, you will uncover more about ITC, learn about exciting career opportunities, and hear first hand experience of the previous batch trainees. Towards the end, we also have the business leaders sharing insight on the upcoming case study, so please stay tuned. Without any further ado, let's dive into the event. May we please have on screen our first speaker for today, Ms. Prerna Agarwal. Prerna ma'am has over 13 years of experience with ITC and has worked across various roles. She is currently our General Manager HR. Now, let's hear what she has to say and present. Over to you, ma'am.
Thanks, Ashish. Hi, everyone. Good evening. I'm Prerna Agarwal. I have been with the organization for the last 13 years. I joined from campus and I've been working in various roles in trade marketing and distribution, which is the sales and distribution arm for all of our FMCG businesses at ITC. Right? These FMCG businesses include the tobacco business, food products, personal care products, matches, and agarbatti, and the stationery business. Right? So I'll just get into a brief overview about ITC. As most of you would be aware, we are one of the largest FMCG companies in the country, and ITC has a diversified portfolio of 11 different businesses. Last year, we clocked a revenue of 73,000 plus crores. And over the last almost 2 decades, ITC has built a portfolio of 25 plus mother brands. And I'm very proud to say that these are brands that have been built by employees and managers at ITC from scratch. And they've not been imported or bought. Most of these have not been bought from outside, right? There are 250 plus factories across the country. And over years, we are very proud to say that many of our brands are leaders in their segments. Ashirvad is number one in branded atta in India. Sunfeast is number one in the cream biscuit segment. Bingo is number one in the bridges segment of snack foods. Mangaldeep Agarbatti is number one in the Dhoop segment. Classmate is number one in notebooks, and Yippee is also number two in noodles. So it's a very vibrant portfolio that has been built by marketers like you. Can we move to the next slide, please? So let me give you a brief introduction about trade marketing and distribution. Like any other ITC or FMCG supply chain, the product moves from a factory to warehouses across the country. From warehouses, it moves to wholesale dealers or distributors who thereafter look after the distribution of products to the trade across various different channels. And from the trade, it moves on to the consumer. So trade marketing and distribution, or TMND as we call it, is the business that takes care of the product supply from the warehouses till the time it reaches the end customer. We are organized into 4 different regions across 19 locations in the country, and TMND services 7 million plus retail outlets, and of course works and handles the entire product category range of ITC. Can we have the next slide? Uh, we offer a lot of opportunities to students like you and to managers who join us from campus. Any FMCG company can only be successful if it has a good a very strong distribution network, and that is something that we take a lot of pride in. TMND will give you exposure, ITC will give you exposure across channels, be it in general trade sales or in modern trade sales, in e-commerce, in designing go-to-market strategies across these different channels and markets, in category development in terms of, we work across various categories, which I'll just talk about shortly. So how do you build those categories in various markets, and of course in brand management. Can we have the next slide? Yeah. We also give exposure across categories. So ITC is one of the few companies where you get exposed to multiple product categories. We are there in food products, we are there in matches and incense sticks, in cigarettes, personal care, education, and stationery. And each of these product categories will have their own nuances in terms of what channels they sell in, what markets are more, are more priority for each segment, and how do you design go-to-market strategies for each of these, or how do you penetrate markets for each of these through different routes. So that is something that you can look forward to. Can we have the next slide? What are some possible roles that you can do in ITC? I'll take you through the career journeys of a couple of managers that have joined us from campus in the past, and what are the kind of exposures that they got. So Karan joined us in 2019 from campus. He underwent his training in Rayalaseema branch. Post his training, he moved to the Bangalore branch, where he was handling the modern trade channel for us. After he completed the role of area manager, modern trade or key accounts, he subsequently moved to our Patna branch, which takes care of Bihar and Jharkhand. And there he was handling the sales for the foods business. Subsequently, he moved to our West Bengal upcountry branch, where he is currently working. And he's today leading the foods sales for the entire branch territory. There's another manager, Apeksha, who again joined us from campus. Apeksha trained in Jammu branch. Subsequently, she worked in head office, where she was designing go-to-market strategies for ITC. After that, she moved to Delhi branch, where she was the area sales manager for the personal care business. And post that stint, she moved to head office, where she handled category development for some of our food categories. And currently, she's working as a manager key accounts for e-commerce at head office. So as you can see that each of them have had very varied exposures across markets, across categories, and across channels. Can we have the next slide? As part of Emerging Managers Awards, the registrations are now live. They have been since 6th of August. And we're very excited for all of you to apply and to participate in this program. This is open to first-year students who are pursuing a 2-year full-time flagship MBA from the institutes that have been published. We will start with a quiz on 15th and 16th of August, and 5 lucky winners will get exciting prizes. Subsequently, the registrations are going to close on 17th August, so do make sure that you register on time. After that, we will have one round of aptitude test for the registered students. It will be across either 18th or 19th August, depending on your campus schedule. After that, the shortlisted students will be given a case study, on which you will need to submit a 5 to 7 slide PPT by the 31st of August. Basis your presentations, we will do a shortlisting, and the final campus rounds will be where the case study presentations will happen to an ITC panel, will happen on campus, and we will be communicating the dates for the same subsequently. Can we move forward? So this is, of course, an opportunity to build a career with one of India's leading FMCG marketers. At the end of the internship, at the end of the program, we will be offering pre-placement opportunities for a 2-month summer internship. The stipend is there on the screen. And in case you complete the internship successfully, there are PPOs that will be given for area manager trainees at ITC. There'll, of course, be an opportunity to get mentored by industry experts during the case study, as well as after that as part of your internship. and you will have an opportunity to solve real world business problems. There is a case study that my colleagues will talk about subsequently in this session. Thank you. This is the link for registering. Ashish, over to you.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am, for such insightful session. And now we'll move on to the next leg of the segment. We have two area sales managers who have joined us today, Ms. Sakshi and Mr. Arpit. So we would hear their experience with ITC. So just to begin with, let's start with a quick introductions with the larger audience. So we'll start with Sakshi.
Hi, Ashish. Thank you. Am I audible?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Hi everyone. My name is Sakshi Sleria Babeja. I'm currently working as an area sales manager for something you would call alternate channels, which is all your e-commerce and modern trade outlets. And my journey began in ITC in 2021, where I joined as an area manager trainee post my MBA. Went through a little less than a year of training with a varied bunch of experience, and then got placed as area manager. So it's been a very exciting journey, and I wish all of you the best. Whoever does get to work with ITC would indeed be very lucky. So thank you so much for having me here as well, Ashish.
Over to you, Arpit.
Thank you so much, Ashish. To introduce, I am Arpit Vipulkumar Sheth. I am from the batch of 2023 Goa Institute of Management pass out. Briefly, I started my journey as an area sales manager trainee in Guwahati. Right from that, I am currently handling the foods division of ITC for the Northeast branch, and I've been here since then. Thank you so much.
Okay. So my next question for you, Sakshi, can you share an experience you have had at ITC which has been a highlight of your journey here?
Essentially, from what I can recall, is when I initially started my journey in the area manager role in Kolkata, I obviously was a first time manager at the time. And I was working again, amongst really experienced area managers and assistant managers. There was it was quite challenging. But then to really being in that position and really learning how to do the job well and to how to manage people, and then seeing really experiencing that transformation, that was a beautiful journey. So I would just say that entire journey has been a highlight for me, like the past year or so. Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for throwing light on that. Arpit, could you throw some light on the exposure, learning curve, and growth offered by ITC?
Sure. ITC has displayed a tremendous role in shaping my professional journey. Like, it's been my first company after MBA. So, right from day one, I have had the opportunity to learn something new every single day. Being in a core general trade profile, I have gained deep insights into market dynamics, seasonal trends, and uh, consumer behaviors. During the initial phase, ITC ensured that I had a strong foundation. The onboarding and training processes were extremely smooth and well structured, I'd say. I was guided at every step with all the leaders that currently working with in the Guwahati branch, and that helped me get a brief understanding on the business fundamentals and market operations. Like, over time, I've learned how to analyze and interpret various sales performance reports, and how to translate the analysis into effective on ground execution. That's what is important in a general trade profile to get sales, and even implementing various ATL BTL strategies, and how to penetrate in market efficiently. So truly, it has been a very unique experience with ITC, and I hope that I still believe that every single day till now I've been learning some or the other thing that has been a constant part.
No. Okay. Great to hear that. Sakshi, question to you. What excites you the most about your job?
I think very similar lines of what Arpit said. Every day, even though some things, some tasks are a little repeated, of course. Every day, somehow, I feel that I'm learning something new, something about processes of ITC, or something about my clients, or be it my market or consumers. And I get to implement a few strategies, when I'm included in projects. So it's those are the exciting parts of my day where, like, when I think back in my day, I just feel like, oh my god, this is something I learned new, or like, okay, this is you know today was not very today was kind of different. So those are the kind of highlights I feel. I did work before MBA as well, and I must say that working in FMCG particularly has been quite rewarding that way. It just shows something very real, but like very new to you each day. That keeps it fun.
Okay, nice. I'm sure this definitely instills enthusiasm amongst the audience which is watching us right now. Yeah. Arpit, question for you. What has been the highlight of your journey with ITC so far?
Since the first day, I'd say I was very confused, like being a fresher, didn't know what to do. So I'd say that a helping hand that ITC gives, a well structured training program that they have, it helped me gain a lot of experience. And I still believe that uh, it's good to ask whenever there's a doubt. So that has helped me gaining some experience. So there's and I'd say that whenever after I was placed in Guwahati, whenever there's some work that has been done which has gained an initial quick momentum in the business that I have been driving, and even getting appreciation or learning something new, that I believe is a key highlight that gives me an insulin rush to do something or the other more each and every day, to try and do something new every time. So yeah.
Okay. Great to hear that. Sakshi, question for you. What are some key skills that you've developed after joining ITC?
Okay, sorry, I think my video is kind of frozen. I do apologize for that. Okay, the key skills I would develop here would be people management, certainly. Okay, I learned how to be quite persistent and drive results. In the sense of, that's the kind of person I am as well. Like if I, just finishing what you start takes a lot of persistence and patience. So that those are some of the attributes that I really had to develop while working at ITC, and it actually helps me generally as well. Yeah, and just attention to detail. So you get really good at all of this in any role, in fact, that you have at ITC. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. This brings us to the end of this segment. Thank you, Sakshi and Arpit, for sharing your experiences and insights with our budding managers. Now, for the last and most awaited segment, maybe please have on screen Mr. Raghav Parik to share insights on the upcoming case study. So, Raghav joined ITC in 2017 from SP Jain Institute of Management and Research, Mumbai, and is part of the category development team as senior manager, category development foods. Uh, Raghav, while the detailed case study will be shared with the shortlisted students post the aptitude assessment, it would be great if you could please share the introduction and the context of the case study. Over to you.
Sure. Thanks, Ashish. Thanks for having me. Hi, guys. As Ashish mentioned, I'm the national category head for biscuits. And I'll give you a brief contours of the case and what we expect. And the detailed written document will be shared with you, I think, post the session by Ashish. So first of all, I'll just give you a brief overview of the category of biscuits. It's a category which excites me a lot. It's a category which is 50,000 crores in the country, and it's a category which has grown with the country at the pace at which the country has grown. So if you see, I have kind of jotted down how the category of biscuit has grown. It started in the year 1939 when Parle G introduced the glucose biscuits. And at that point in time, India was a poor country till 1960s, 1970s. GDP was low, GDP per capita was low. There was barely any industry in the country to speak of. And this biscuit was actually seen as a source of nutrition, as a source of nourishment. And it actually was a meal for a lot of Indians at that point in time. And that continued to a certain point in time. And as India flourished, as we started getting more and more prosperous, as disposable income started going up with the opening up of the economy, the Indian consumer started to want more. So that's when, the likes of cookies came into the market. We had Good Day, we had butter in the biscuit, we had Kaju Badam, we had almonds, we had pista in the biscuit. And that's how the industry moved to the next level. As the Indian GDP continued to grow, as the markets continued to open, stay on that side only, Ashish. As the market continued to open up, the Indian consumer became more and more aspirational. He started wanting to have cream in the biscuit. That's when we had the creams enter the Indian market. Then circa 2010, the Indian consumer had even more money at his disposal. The SEC-A, SEC-B, B+, they wanted more out of their money that they spent. They wanted an even more premium experience. That's when the likes of dark fantasy started coming in. And fast forward a few more years, the consumer became slightly more health conscious. That's when your digestive biscuits started moving in. So, it's a category which is continuously evolving. It's a category which has so many nuances, so many different interplays happening within biscuits, outside of biscuits. Right now, we are seeing behaviors where consumers are actually moving from snacks to biscuits because that's how the consumer landscape has been evolving. So when we say biscuits, just move to the next slide, Ashish. These are some of the words which come to your mind, right? It could be sweet, it could be a cookie, it could have vanilla cream in it, it could have chocolate cream in it, it could be a bourbon biscuit, it could have badam in it. Now we are seeing some masala players entering the biscuit segment. So these are some of the biscuits that have populated the landscape in the country over the past few years. But there's one thing which nobody had thought. It was a complete white space. I won't even call it a white space because nobody had thought something like this could even come in a biscuit. Just move, Ashish. Which is basically cheese. Now, cheese as a flavor we've been having in pizzas. India has been exposed to cheese over the last 25 years in pizzas, in burgers, in sandwiches, in chips, so many different segments. But nobody had thought up until recently that even a biscuit could have a cheese flavor or a cheese cream in it. Right? None of the Indian players had thought of it. And enter, just move to the next slide. With that context, a competition had entered. Now, I've been told to not name the competition, so I'll not name it. But some of you would have already tasted this biscuit. This guy sitting in Indonesia started exporting biscuits to India, and he had a cracker on top and a very delicious layer of cheese in the middle. And he had the biggest actor in the country at that point in time, and they ran huge ads, and this became a 25-30 crore brand in the country in the space of 4 to 5 years, which is a huge achievement for somebody who's not even sitting in India. Now, this biscuit, obviously, since it's imported, the competition has certain limitations in the sense that they have to import the biscuits. They don't have the kind of distribution footprint that ITC has or any other player making in India would have. They don't have the kind of supply chain and the value chain that ITC has to grow this segment. But in spite of all those limitations, they've managed to grow to a sizable chunk, which is 25-30 crores. They're only selling in a few states because of the limitations which I mentioned. But they've been able to tap into the consumer because the consumer is looking for new experiences. The consumer is aspirational. Even in the smallest population groups, in the smallest markets of the country, the consumer wants to try new things, especially if you're delivering value for money for them. So in this context, this particular player was able to scale up to around 25-30 crores a month, around 400 crores annual consumer spends, and he had a clean slate. There was nobody competing with him for the last 5.5 years. And hence he was able to scale up because this biscuit is not very easy to make. It requires certain technology which wasn't available with a lot of players. Now enters a challenger, which is, as you will see when you read the case study, just move to the next slide. This is the challenger that's entered the market. This is basically our product. It's called Wowzers. This is what ITC has launched. in the in the last 5 to 6 months across the country, and it's been doing really well. It's been challenging the incumbent in the markets where he's very strong, and we are trying to create the category where the competition has not yet been able to penetrate because of the various limitations which I had mentioned earlier. So the challenge in front of us are twofold. In the markets where he's very strong, which the data is given in the case study that Ashish will be sharing with you, how do we displace him? How do we increase the size of the pie? How do we take share away from him? How do we beat the incumbent at his own game? In the markets where he's not strong, which is basically your non-coastal markets where there's no port, where he's not able to import or where he's not able to provide stocks, how do we create the category over there? Because the awareness is there pan-India, at least in the consumers of biscuits. Because even he might have a low footprint in the other markets, but the footprint is still there. So how do we ensure we are able to build the category? So your case study revolves around this. From what I have been told by Ashish, you guys are here from different parts of the country. So the challenge is going to be different for each of you. For the people who are in the states of, say, Kerala, Maharashtra, Assam, Northeast, West Bengal, to an extent Tamil Nadu, the challenge is that this incumbent is decently strong in those markets. And I have launched this product. How do I displace him from his, how do I build my own space in these states? How do I gain share from these places? How do I understand which areas of the market is this guy weak in? How do I capitalize in those markets? Secondly, which areas in these states is this guy very strong in? Which outlets, if I have to drill down to that level, is he very strong in? And how do I get my share of the pie, or how do I get share? How do I get space in these outlets from this guy? What is my moat? What is my USP? How do I win in those outlets? How do I ensure maximum consumers are able to see me on the shelves of these outlets? How do I ensure when I'm present on these shelves, I'm present in a very visible manner so that when a consumer enters the outlet, he's able to see me. There's some kind of a attractiveness around my presence over there, and he picks me. How do I ensure I'm able to drive trials in this segment? How do I ensure I'm able to reach as many households as possible with my product? Because I believe my product is superior. Right? In the second set of outlets, which are the markets where he has not been able to build a foothold, which is basically your northern states of India, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra. These are the states, and you'll see this in the data that we'll share with you. These are the states where he is not very strong. So if he is not very strong, that means maybe the awareness of the category is slightly low. What do I do at the point of sale to build awareness for this category, for my product? What do I do at the point of sale, or what do I do on ground to ensure that maximum I'm able to sample this to maximum people possible? How do I win the trade of the trust of the trade that this is a product worth keeping in the outlet and worth spending money and worth blocking inventory space for? How do I win in those set of outlets? So it's a very exciting time to be. I mean, at least 10 to 20% of my time during the day spent trying to, unlock this challenge or understand what can be done. And I'm hoping that you guys will, over a course of the next month or two, will give me some interesting insights, some interesting challenges, some interesting insights, interesting solutions to this challenge. And what can we do to win? Because the landscape is huge. There is no limit. This can become a 100 crore brand in the next 8 to 9 months for IT for us. So what are the unlocks that are needed to set us on that path? That is what we want to hear from you when, whenever the live challenge ends, whenever you guys come up with your solutions, that is what we want to know. Just a word of caution or some guardrail I want to set. As Prerna had mentioned in the beginning, we are the trade marketing and distribution wing of the company. We are not the marketing wing of the company. So I don't want to hear solutions like we should play more ads or we should hire Shah Rukh Khan, which instantly we have ads with Shah Rukh Khan running with this product. So I don't want to hear marketing ideas that we should be on. We should advertise using IPL. We should advertise in an upcoming movie, or we should hire the Rebel Kid as an influencer. Those are not the solutions that I'm looking at currently. I'm looking at solutions simply from a sales and distribution and a trade marketing point of view, which essentially involves what kind of influence, how do we influence the trade behavior to buy more and more of this product, and how can we drive sellout of or offtakes from the point of sale. So yeah, Ashish, that is it from my end. If you have any questions, happy to take them.
Okay, thank you so much, Raghav, for clarifying, for explaining the case study in such depth. Now, Raghav, I had one question. If you could share the answer with the audience. If you could share, what would be because this case study would also require them to visit markets. So when they are visiting market, what would be the guidelines? What would be the expectation or things that they should take care of, and things that they should ensure which are covered, which kind of
I'm
increases
unable
the
to hear
depth of the
Ashish.
solution
Raghav,
that
can
they
you hear
provide in
him?
the case study.
I can hear him. So yeah, expectations, Ashish, are basically, I'll try and summarize in 2 to 3 points. First is to build a distribution strategy over the next 3 months, over the next 6 months, on what can be done in a cost-effective manner. If you throw unlimited amount of money at the problem, obviously the chances of getting a solutions are higher. But that is not what we're looking at. We have to find a problem. We have to find a solution, distribution solution to the problem, which is very cost-effective, and there needs to be, before we seek a solution, we need to understand the problem at hand, which will require a deep dive into the competitive benchmarking part of it. We'll need to understand what the competition is doing in the states where it's strong, to have built the kind of market leadership position that it is built. So that would require a deep dive into the distribution setup, right from at different nodes, right from where does the import happen from, how are the stocks supplied to the distributors, how fresh is the stock when it comes to the distributor, how does the distributor supply stocks to the trade, at what frequency is he servicing the trade, is he differentiating, is his strategy different in different set of outlets, is he treating the larger set of outlets differently to say how the smaller outlets behave. So first is the competition benchmarking piece of it. Secondly, we would want to understand his strength and his weaknesses in different states, in different geographies. Where are the areas where he's weak at? Is he weaker in, say, areas in smaller markets? Is he stronger in larger markets? Is he stronger in modern trade? Is he weaker in general trade? Where are his areas of strength? Because our strategies, as I mentioned, will vary differently depending on his areas of strength and weakness. Thirdly, what is the kind of service pack that we can offer to beat the competition in terms of trade marketing and distribution? Is he getting credit from competition? Is there a deeper level of engagement with the trade? When I mean deeper level of engagement, does he have a 3-month, 6-month plan with the trade? What are the kind of trade rates that are applicable? Is he collecting returns or expired stocks on the markets, because that's an advantage we give? Is he extending credit? If he's not extending credit, we are extending credit. So that's an advantage that we have over competition. How much is he selling out? What is he doing to drive sellout, because he's not advertising anymore? What can we do to drive sellout? So these are 3-4 things that I'm looking to find answers to, and not just from these guys. Me and my team are spending a substantial portion of our time, trying to find answers to these solutions. But I'm hoping that these guys will have a fresh set of ideas, fresh set of eyes to look at this problem from. So I'm hoping to find some very unique solutions to these problems that we have.
Okay, thank you so much, Raghav. One last question which we have for you. What would be the evaluation parameters when we look at the solutions that the students bring in? What would be the 3 or 4 parameters basis which you would evaluate the case study solutions?
So one would definitely be feasibility of the plan. I've done quite a lot of these case studies. And what normally happens is that when I was a college student, what normally happens is when you're making plans, you don't always keep the feasibility of the plan in mind, because you've not been exposed maybe to the corporate environment. First is feasibility. It should not have endless costs associated with it. Second would be the level of detailing and insighting that has been done to arrive at the solution. So more than the solution, I would want to first want the participant to understand the problem and then tell me what the solution is. Because if the problem has not been articulated well, then solutioning is not of much use. So those are 2-3 things I would want the participants to focus on, the students to focus on.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Raghav and Prerna ma'am, for your time. And with this, we come to the end of the session today. Uh, So, thank you all future leaders for spending time with us today. If you haven't still registered for the ITC Emerging Managers Awards Season 2, please do so. Registrations are open till 17th of August. And as we conclude this session, I would like to extend a heartfelt gratitude to all our attendees and speakers. EMA Season 2 has just begun, and we are eagerly looking forward to your ideas and meeting the campus finalists at the respective campuses soon. So join us on this exciting journey, grow your career with India's leading FMCG marketer. Thank you so much.